Hello, Sagittarius, my fire family. How are you doing, friends? I'm here to do a reading for you. It is a bonus reading. I just want to say thank you for the ways that you have been loving on the channel. Thank you for all of your thumbs up. Thank you for your hypes if you're able to do that. And thanks for just being here and clicking on this. Let's find out what's going on. Let's ask the universe what the topic is for you today, Sagittarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter are the signs that I read for, which means this reading isn't always just going to be for the Sagittarius sun, right? It could be for someone else's sun sign, but they have a Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter sign that is Sagittarius. Tell me what's going on with Sag. What are the energies for Sagittarius, please? We've got the Knight of Wands. Where are you off to here? We've got the Five of Pentacles. And we've got the Ace of Pentacles. Look, I'm going to ask you to be brave. I think I'm supposed to ask you to be brave, Sag. We've got the Knight of Wands. We've got the Five of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. I think somebody here is having a hard time financially. It feels like a financial wobble is what it feels like, because the Five of Pentacles is the impact financially, or worry, or I feel like I don't have enough. Now, maybe you do have enough, but in this economy and in life the way it is, the scarcity, the fear factor, all of that, everything is unsure. And I'm saying unsure because, the Knight of Wands, although brave, feels the earth moving under their feet, the wobble, right? Nothing is very sure. It's like the Knight of Wands is the van life person. Doesn't really have stability, but is just going to go day by day, and it's an adventure. I'm going through it by fire, but I'm just going to do what I can in order to be able to keep my head above water. Now, what I'm going to say to you, Sag, is this isn't going to be forever. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. Something's coming up. So if you're the unemployed one, the job is coming, or the interview is coming. Something is showing up. When the Ace of Pentacles shows up, it's not for any bad reason. It's always for terms of abundance. And so this could be a lack of energy, because listen, pentacles are time, effort, energy, money, right? It could also be your health. Somebody here could have a wobbly health issue that's about to get better. You're about to get good news. The Ace of Pentacles is never bad news. So I'm going to say that whatever you're going through right now that's making you feel in lack, I don't care what the situation is. It could be a romantic situation. Maybe you're feeling in lack about somebody who maybe, when I get Pentacles up next to the Knight of Wands, for me, that's always like a situationship or friends with benefits. This could be the wobble. I feel like something solid is coming, an investment, time, effort, and energy somebody's going to put into the situation, because add 1 to the 5 and now we have 6. It's reciprocal energy. So let's find out what's going on here and tell me more about Sagittarius. We have the Nine of Swords. So I feel like you are in this loop of, I don't have enough, I'm not enough, they're not going to want me. If it's a relationship thing, this is never going to grow into anything solid. And I can't say ever, right? Tarot is never forever. This is what we're dealing with in the present moment, or maybe a little bit into the future. It does feel like somebody is worrying, if it's a relationship that has just begun, somebody's worried that the fire will burn out, because we can only be brave for so long before we have to start really looking at what's going on in the 3D and really going over the details and being very practical about the situation. So I feel like somebody here is worried because either you're very short on money and you don't have the job yet, or there's some sort of relationship wobble that's going on here. But it feels like things are uncertain, because although the Knight of Wands is very brave, not very stable, right? It's not consistent like Pentacles. Tell me more about Sag. We've got the Queen of Cups. And we have the Ace of Swords. So there is some sort of clarity that's coming here. If this is a relationship reading for you, I feel like some sort of clarity is coming about feelings, about the way I feel deeply. Somebody is about to have compassion and to let you know, look, I have been sort of in and out of this relationship because I've been undecided. Because the Knight is not really giving stability immediately. I've been really undecided. I think that the Nine of Swords is your energy, Sag, and that you've been worried worried about the instability of the situation, no matter what it is, work, money, a relationship, whatever it is. But I'm going to say clarity is coming. Now, that doesn't mean that everything is going to be fine immediately, but it does mean that you're going to know the reasons why. You're going to get clarity. You're going to figure out what is deep underneath the surface. And we do have the 9 of Swords and 1, which to me is 10. And to me, that tells me you're going to be relieved of something. So although for some of you, this could be a painful reality because the pentacles are here, a painful reality that this thing might go on a while yet in this situationship before we end up getting to anywhere solid. So please understand that I don't know if the Ace of Pentacles for you is right around the corner. For some of you, it could be, and for some of you, it may not. Let's talk about this 5 of Pentacles, though. I feel like you're going to be able to be relieved of the 5 of Pentacles. So the feeling, I'm going to say feeling because the Queen of Cups is here, and she's all about the feelings. You're feeling in lack. Like you're feeling like I don't have enough, even if you do, or you're worried, even if you have money in the bank and you don't have a job, you're like, oh, my savings is going to run out in 3 months. I think you're looking too far ahead is what I'm saying here. And I think that you're not really paying attention to the present moment or what's going on in the present moment. You're worry, right? You're worrying forward. I once had a psychologist say to me, pick a time of day, you get 10 minutes and you can ration that 10 minutes as long as you want. But if you sit down and worry about something for 2 minutes, take it off the list. Now you have 8. So there is time to worry, but I want you to do it in a way where you're not all consumed about emotional worry. The 5 of Pentacles is the 3 of Pentacles. It is the Magician, and it is the Queen of Pentacles. Look, I feel whatever foundation that you are trying to build at this time is going to end up stable. But I would say that right now it feels like I'm trying to manifest it. I know I have the tools, the skills. I know my worth, right? Because the Magician knows the worth. I know my worth, but things just in this present moment right now, Elsie, are not working out the way I want them to, and they feel really unsure. We're all living in this place where we are unsure, right? If that's economically, definitely, we're all living in this place where we are unsure. It feels like with the 2 of Wands in the reverse, somebody's saying to me, but I don't have a plan for the future. I don't really know what's going on because I don't have a plan for a future, and that's what's torturing me in the mind. The 5 of Swords is here. So if this is a relationship that you're looking at, I want to say that this time is a time where you really have to assess and be very practical about the situation as to whether this is building into a stable foundation or not. I feel like somebody here got involved with a friend or somebody they knew or a friend of a friend. It's like it's attached to something else besides feelings. It's attached to something else. That's what it feels like. And that's what the worry is, that maybe it's going to be now weird in this with the situation with my friend because I'm dating her brother or I'm dating her cousin or I'm dating his sister. Like it feels like it's attached to something that's bringing on the worry. So we have the 3 of Pentacles, and I feel like although there's been not a whole lot of footing here and you're feeling in lack, it feels like if we work on it, we can make it stable. Queen of Pentacles, we can make it stable. If we are talking about a health thing for you, if you really work at your diet, work at your exercise, work at whatever the doctor tells you to do, whatever treatment plan that is the doctor has you on, I feel like the Magician with the Queen of Pentacles tells me it gets exponentially better. I feel like you have all the skills, you have all the resources to make this work for you. You just can't get caught up in the 9 of Swords because it's, no matter if you worry about it, it's not going to make the situation better, nor is it going to bring on the Ace of Pentacles in any quicker amount of time. Tell me about the Ace of Pentacles, please. I want to tell you what's going to happen here when the Ace of Pentacles shows up, when the solid ground under your feet shows up, when this investment or abundance shows up. We've got the Knight of Cups. We've got the 9 of Pentacles. Yes. See, confidence, stable. Now I have confidence. I know who I am. I know my worth. And it's connected to the Knight of Cups. So it feels like to me here that something does end up growing. It grows a lot. And it feels like you grow in confidence, which is, I don't really care if this person wants to keep me in their life or not. Now I'm sort of flipping it and wondering, is this something I value? Do I value this? Is this what I want going forward in the future? 9 Pentacles and 1 is 10. So now I think that you're kind of flipping it and you're like, is that really what I want to do with my time going into the future? I feel like you start to take your control back, which is the 9 of Pentacles. I start to take my control back and feel confident that, maybe I have put enough work into this. It feels like you're thinking about taking another path or throwing your seeds with intention into another garden or into another place where the soil is going to be more fertile. If we're looking at a job here, it feels like there is something coming up that I think you're really going to love. The Knight of Cups is giving me that you're really going to have your heart space connected to. So if you're a person who's always wanted to work for a nonprofit, it feels like the nonprofit job is coming. If it's something you've always wanted to do to take care of others, Virgo energy here, right? Then I think that you will be able to get a job in that sector. It feels like you have all of the skills. You've really worked on yourself. You've gone to school. You have the certificate. You work hard. There's no reason why it shouldn't be yours. So I feel like this Ace of Pentacles is multifaceted, of course, because it's all the things that are going on in the 3D. We've got the Page of Wands. We've got the 4 of Wands, and we've got the 5 of Cups. I'm going to say this. I don't think it should be expected that the first job that you interview for is going to be yours. You may have to interview for a few of them before you can find your stability or the one that you like, because with 5 Wands here, it's indecision. Do I really want this? Is there too much competition out there? Like, is this really what I want for myself? If I take this job, will I feel regretful? Will it be unsatisfying in the heart space? I feel like somebody here is looking for a job that means something. I just don't want to go to the job every day and just put in the time and go home and collect the paycheck. I want to feel like I'm doing something meaningful. So I feel like what you're trying to do is find something that is meaningful for you and not just something that you're going to have to put a whole lot of hard work into in order just to pay your bills. 4 of Wands. It feels like whatever this is you are moving to the next level. When I see the 4 of Wands, to me, it's the next level. So we're moving up or we're moving to the next level. So I feel like whatever you get is the next level in your finances, the next level that you're going to be able to use your diploma. It feels like whatever it is next level. So I think that this worry with the Page of Wands, I feel like it's a thought pattern or a curiosity of, am I going to regret if I do take the job? If we are talking about a relationship here, I feel like this person really does have way more feelings for you than they're letting on. I feel like they're giving you swords, but they're using their swords to cover what they're feeling way deep down underneath, because the Queen of Cups is the one that is very, very deep. This person probably is acting quite aloof or detached. I feel like there's feelings under the surface because they also don't just want to settle. They're thinking the same thing you are. Is this just a situationship? Is this something I want to invest my time in? Does this person feel the same for me the way I feel, or am I delusional? Like, the Knight of Pentacles or the Knight of Cups is here. And for me, that's, Piscean. It's like I'm falling in love with potential. Maybe I'm not seeing everything for what it is very clearly. I know that I know my worth, and I know that I can make it on my own. I know that I'm a hard worker, and I know that I have all of these great things about me, but am I settling? If I invest here, am I settling? I think someone is thinking about whether or not they're settling, or if there is something in the future for them with you. I feel like, or maybe you're thinking that about them. It feels like the Sun with the 10 of Cups here. I think that you either really want this to work out, or the Sun is shining so bright on the 10 of Cups that it's blinding you. Look, the 10 of Cups is Piscean energy. So just please make sure you're not falling in love with potential, because I feel like somebody here is acting very aloof or detached, and it's time to have, when I see the Ace of Swords, when it comes to relationship, we got to have the conversation. We actually have to talk about this. And look, if you have a conversation about this and this person ends it, yes, it's going to hurt. It's going to feel like betrayal. But isn't it better that you know now than carrying this on and getting deeper and deeper and deeper into the romantic aspect of this thing when this person is just really playing on the surface? Your worry is that this person is just playing in fire. What is this? Tower. Queen of Wands, 5 of Pentacles. It feels like this person is somebody who is trying to decide between you and somebody else. It feels like there's indecision and competition here with the Queen of Wands. There's a big attraction between you and them, but also they're attracted to someone else. I feel like you're going to feel a little bit of devastation when you figure this out. When you know that this person, which could be player energy, this person here is also dealing with other people. Now, that doesn't mean they're sleeping with other people. It could mean that they are still talking to other people. But I think that's only because we are not exclusive with each other. And look, if you're not exclusive with each other and you haven't had that conversation, you can't expect someone to be with you exclusively. I feel like you're going to find out that this person is actually talking to other people or has attraction for someone else. It feels like you're going to find out something. The tower's going to shift into some sort of competition. And I don't think you need to compete, is what I'm saying. I'm going to say that this conversation needs to happen here. And you need to figure out what's going on before you move any further here. Tell me about this conversation and how this works out. We've got the Ten of Pentacles, we've got the Hermit energy, and we've got the Five of Cups. I feel like this person goes in and out of conversation. They might be somebody who doesn't really answer your texts right away. If that's the case, then for me, the Queen of Wands is that person. They're talking to someone else. I feel like this is where you are right now. Am I seeing an illusion? Seven of Cups. I'm confused. I'm overwhelmed emotionally, and I don't really know why this person has been quiet with me. The Hermit is here. It feels like with the Ten of Pentacles that you're looking at this person as a long-term person, but you really got to have a conversation about that. We have to talk about the longevity of what's going on here. And I think that for those of you who are looking at this as finances and job, I feel like this is your interview process, but I really do feel like instead of just jumping in and saying yes, and I mean, you might do that because you might need the finances, right? But instead of doing that, I feel like you really have to talk about the longevity of the job. Look, how's your company going? A lot of people don't ask that question in the interview, and I think that now more than ever, this is a question that needs to be asked of the employer. How is your company doing? Did you make more money this year than last year? How many people have you laid off in the last 365 days? Tell me about the stability of the company. These are questions that you're going to have to ask. These are things you're going to have to think about by yourself and ask these questions about long-term stability. It feels like somebody here really needs to be very pointed with their questions in the interview. I'm going to ask about this Knight of Wands because I feel like you're probably going to be kind of devastated, feel betrayed, when this person tells you that they're not yet, that they are talking to other people. But honestly, with the Knight of Wands here, what did you expect? I'm just going to say, tell me what happens with the Knight of Wands if this is a relationship. We've got the Two of Pentacles, we've got the King of Swords, and we've got the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like this takes longer than you want it to. I feel like that there is a conversation that you can request that I think is coming up, but I think that you don't want to know the truth. I'm just going to say, the Three Pentacles are here. You've already put time in and you've built a foundation with this person. And you still think that you're kind of, I don't know. Like maybe they're just like, I don't know. Maybe that's the energy you're getting from them. I'm going to say that when you talk to this person, they're going to give you the answer up front. They're going to be truthful. They're going to be honest. And they're really not going to care how you feel about it. So if it is, you know, I'm seeing other people as well. They're just going to give you the swords. I'm just going to say they're just going to do that. And if it's somebody who wants to work with you, who wants to try and make this something solid, who is going to end up giving you the investment, it feels like this person is someone who's being super careful because they haven't decided yet. With the Knight of Pentacles, it's very practical. I'm very grounded. I'm very solid. I like to move slow. I'm not moving fast. I'm not committing to anybody right away. And that person is just going to be really honest with you. What's the outcome? Tell me about the outcome for Sagittarius. We've got the Six of Swords, we've got the Queen of Swords, and we got the Two of Swords. What I don't think that this King of Swords is expecting, because this to me is the interviewer. This is also the person I think that you might be dealing with who's in this aloof detached energy with the Eight of Cups here. Doesn't want to settle. That's why they're taking so long to make their decision. What they don't expect, Sag, is that you are the Queen of Swords. They don't expect that they're going to get what they give. And you are going to mirror them in their energy. So I feel like if you have a conversation with this person and they're like, I want to go slow, I haven't made a decision, and I don't know if I want to commit to just seeing each other exclusively, I feel like you cut them. I feel like you cut them out. I feel like you break their heart. I feel like you move on. The Six of Swords is like, you know what, I'm not hanging out for this. You don't get to treat me like that. If you can't see my worth, Nine of Pentacles, if you can't see my worth, then, this is the end of the line for you. I feel like you block them. I feel like you block the connection. I feel like you liberate yourself from the situation. You're very honest with them as well. Look, I won't be treated this way. I thought that when we started this that you liked me and I liked you. But if you're not willing to give up whoever's in the DMs, then I really have no interest in being with you. It feels like you cut it off and you stop with the chaos of the mind right away. If this is a job interview, I want you to sit in that interview with your Queen of Swords energy. And that is, you're allowed to ask questions of the employer. Make sure you know of the longevity of the company. How long is this company? When was it established? How long has this company been solid? How is it faring in this economy? Like, if you have to ask these questions in order to be able to be in a calmer place in your mind. So I feel like there is 6, 7, 9 swords. There is a worry here that maybe there is something here that is not really stable, even though you go in for the interview, that maybe this company is not stable. I want you to satisfy your mind's questions. Take a list in with you. The Ace of Wands tells me, I feel like you take the job. The Ace of Wands tells me that this person says, okay, let's get creative with how we fit each other into each other's lives. Let's talk about it. But look, if you don't bring it up, if you're not bringing it up because you're scared that they're going to say, okay, I'm out, then they're supposed to be out. Then they were just screwing around anyway. They weren't really serious about you. So yes, absolutely, it could hurt your feelings. Yep, absolutely. I'm not saying that it won't. You'll feel betrayed. But I feel like it's better to know now than to carry it on for another year and end up later after this person, after you feel like you've grown a foundation with this person. I feel like you're looking for the Queen of Pentacles energy. You're looking to stabilize your life. You've been manifesting the 3D, which is your money, time, your effort, your health, your home, a family, doting on someone, maybe getting involved with someone in a relationship or a commitment. And I feel like you deserve that answer. So you got to be brave enough. The Knight of Knight of Wands. You got to be brave enough to ask the questions. I feel like somebody here is going to give you a very creative, exciting, exhilarating, yep, let's go for it answer. Like, it feels like that, whether it's job or whether it's relationship, but you don't know that, and this may carry on for a while. That way, if this person says yes to you, you can say, okay, well, you need to lose those people's phone numbers if we're going to focus on each other. And if that person's not willing to do that, then the tower falls, and that's it. It falls into the rubble. But I feel like something here is about to shift regardless, whether we're talking about a new job or we're talking about a relationship. Somebody here is going to feel rejected, get rejected, and it's going to be a shock. But it's all in favor of bringing justice, bringing something back to normal, bringing something back to restoration. And I feel like what it's restoring is how you feel about the situation, because the 5 of Cups is here, right? It feels like somebody here could experience some sort of rejection. Yes, maybe you don't get the job, maybe the relationship doesn't work, but it's all in favor of bringing something back into harmony in your life. Something was off balance. All right. I'm going to leave that right there. Thank you, Sag, for being here and watching. I appreciate you. I'm going to go for now, but I will be back because, well, I just always am. Take care, sweets. Bye-bye.